What's that? Who's there? Oh my God, it's Bubbies.
Welcome to Bubbies, episode 4 in the red corner. It's me, Russ Burns when he pees McGee.
Are you not going to announce me?
No, you announce yourself.
And in the left corner?
Blue.
And in the blue corner is Ian Cabbage Extraordinary Fuckwad. And this fuckwad's has something planned for us today.
Oh boy.
But do you have anything that you want to say before we start getting into this little segment that I've done?
Big dick energy.
Big dick energy.
That's all. What do you got for me?
Okay. So, Facebook, I have talked to you a little bit about all of the alien races that have supposedly contacted us on Earth. And by contacted, I mean people with disputable repute.
Disabilities.
Talk about all these aliens that visit them at different points in their lives.
Ian loves aliens for some reason.
Because people believe that this shit is real. That's the number one thing about this segment, is that this isn't just some schmuck aliens that people have made up and put in like their D&D games. No, this is based on what people actually believe on Earth, mostly just the US.
Of course, mostly just the US.
It's a lot of horse shit.
It's probably subliminally racist as well.
It's sort of like everybody, all these conspiracy theorists about UFOs and aliens have sort of like yes-anded each other into like a sort of Rolodex of common aliens.
Like any kind of, any kind of foundationless belief system is like this. It's always yes-andism. Like, and then it's a snowball effect. It gets out of control.
It's gotten our species into a lot of trouble over the history of the world. Let's go ahead and start with the one that everybody knows and loves. When I say alien, you think the Greys, the little short fellas with
the little shit dicks.
Yeah, they've got big black eyes and gray skin. They are called
they talk like this. Bleep, bleep, blorp.
Give me your milk.
Give me chicken attendees in the oven.
I want your ovaries.
Oh, God.
So these are more formally known as the Zeta Reticulan Greys.
Oh, of course.
And that's because they are from the planet fucking... Actually, no, that's wrong. According to this list that I have popped up, because I don't know everything off the top of my head like a loser, these beings are a product of this universe. They were developed in the Zeta Reticuli binary star system, which is about 39 light years away.
Yeah, no, I've been there.
They exist in 4D space, and some are evolving into 5D.
So maybe, just maybe, if you go to Disney World and you ride the Lilo and Stitch 4D experience ride, you might see one.
Yeah. So something that we need to cover really quickly is that all of this 4D and 5D shit, whenever people talk about aliens, it's always really hazy and they barely remember. Almost like it's dream.
Almost like they're making it up.
Almost like they're hallucinating. Retarded. Or they just like, especially with the Greys, because they're the ones that are most commonly interacted with humans. They're usually, the stories about people interacting with them usually come from hypnosis sessions with psychologists and therapists. And so they'll be like, go back into the recesses of your mind. What do you see, Russell? What do you see?
I see pancakes and my dad making them.
Think a little harder about the night that you went, that you lost time. You lost 5 hours out in the woods that night when you were off looking for mushrooms.
My dad said that I had to go outside while the nice lady came and cleaned the house.
Gray aliens? Wow.
Bubbies.
I'm sorry, I'll play along. Yeah, no, I saw aliens, and now I'm.
What do they look like?
They're small.
Look in your mind's eye. What do you see?
They're like little baby.
Try to remember with that memory you don't have.
They're like, and then I'm guessing I subconsciously think about like pop culture, and then I go, oh, they're little small gray things. I've played XCOM 2 before. Oh,
and it's a little contentious because when these Greys first started popping up, it was still sort of pop culture because the first early sketches of a Grey was by Aleister Crowley when he said that he summoned he was trying to summon demons and he saw one and he drew it and it looked like a Grey. And then all this alien stuff started happening and they just so happen to look exactly the same. It's weird.
It's like my own. It's like my Orange Shire campaigns. It always comes back to demons.
Anyway, going back to the 3D, 4D, 5D stuff. Apparently, because of the way that people remember these, people just assume that they're from a different dimension, and therefore, when we look at them, our brains don't know quite what to look at, and that's the excuse.
Well, my brain only thinks in 3 dimensions. My brain only thinks in 2. That's why my waifu is all I'll ever need.
Kawaii?
Kawaii desu.
So these aliens are, pretty standard looking. I mean, it's everything that you think of. They've got almond shaped, completely black eyes, big heads, long, skinny bodies. Almond shape is the thing that is like the official term.
Almond shape.
Tasty, black, burnt almond eyes. And what their purpose is they are basically like flesh robots that are controlled by what are known as the tall whites.
Oh, yeah, I knew it. Here we go. I knew it.
A lot of this alien
All
stuff
of American culture is subliminally racist. It's fucking true.
A lot of this alien stuff is slightly racist.
Why do white people just make shit up all the time?
These greys are basically like sort of like a slave hive mind that is used to sort of be the tendrils and the force for the tall whites, because the tall whites don't interact with us in our universe because they've got too many D's. And basically their goal is to make their own race stronger by borrowing genetic material from us. That's the end game. Because, of course, we know what the end game is down here on Earth for that alien species that's in the seventh dimension.
Of course. Yeah, no. Again, I've been there. It's a pretty cool place.
They want our eggs.
They've got a McDonald's.
They want our spermies. And they want to mix them with their eggies and spermies, which apparently they have eggs and sperm. People know that.
Dude, everyone does. Duh.
And they want to make
plants.
They want to make hybrid races. Yeah. And people actually say that there are hybrid races. There are some people who say that the indigo children are part of that, and the indigo children,
it just doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop.
Bubbies.
If you are an indigo child, then you are like special. Not in like autistic special, but yeah, you're autistic special, because it's like if you're an indigo child, then you have a extremely high charisma. You can pretty much get anything you want. You're very beautiful. You have talents out the wazoo. Music, architecture, all this stuff. And there are people like this, and it's fine. But indigo children who identify as indigo children are ridiculously obnoxious. They're horribly obnoxious. You can find YouTube videos of these people, and they're egotistical to a maniacal degree.
Well, I mean, it's obnoxious just like anyone that tries to celebrate their own personality, but that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, they're trying, and they have like meetups, indigo children
Look how
meetups.
quirky I am. Look at me. I'm so gay. Look how fucking gay I am. And it's like, that's cool. I don't... All right.
Witness!
He's like... It's like fucking Mad Max. He's like riding on a car and he's like, "Witness me!
Witness the gay! Big gay!
Big gay."
Something that we have
But
taken
no,
to
like,
a lot.
it's so, like... Yeah, like you said, it's fine to identify and be whatever you want.
It's okay to be special.
But it's obnoxious. It's just as obnoxious if I were to, like, bust through your fucking living room, like, wall with, like, a truck and be like, honk, honk, look at all my women. I'm so straight. I like HGTV. That doesn't line up.
No, that doesn't line up.
Anyways, let's get back to the space bugs.
Let's see, qualities for the short grays. Telepathic, telekinetic, high mental function, emotionless, scientific problem solvers, even though they fuck up a lot, because people say that they tend to ruin their missions.
Well, now that's just comical to think about. Little almond shape head people running around being like, and then they're like their objective is to get into a window, and they're like birds. They're like smacking against it, and they like shoot it with a laser and blow up a whole house or something.
I'm looking at this one section that says guides for humanity, and I think it's supposed to be like characters that have met people. So there's E2S, no, E2s, So E2 plural.
Yeah, I saw Rogue One.
Which is a 4D collective of evolutionary teachers. Apparently, they want to teach us how to
Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
And Malia, who is a Zeta Hymen hybrid from the future. What's a hymen?
I don't want to find out.
And there's something there about starseeds, but we'll skip this in favor of one of my favorite races. The most racist... Well, no, they're not the most racist, but nearly the most racist of all the aliens, the reptilians.
Oh, so the president, Barack Obama?
Yes, exactly. And Hillary Clinton. A lot of presidents have been accused of being reptilian.
All of the politicians that I don't like, they're reptilians, by the way. And that's why I don't like them. It's because they're reptilians.
It's because they're lizards. They're not people. So the reptilians are otherwise known as the Draconians. They come from another universe.
Of course, yeah, just like my dad.
But there are also some people that say that they simply exist like in our universe, but on like a fourth dimensional plane, and they can just like break through whenever they want.
Yeah,
and yet
it makes
again,
total sense.
There's another theory that the Draconians actually live underneath the Earth, which is a strange one.
Yeah, I've been there. I've seen them.
Nothing is consistent with any of this. They exist from the third dimension all the way up to the 12th dimension. And basically, they just look like dragons.
Okay.
That's what they look like.
Whoa, hold up. You're telling me that something from a different dimension looks like something that we made up in our dimension?
In mythology?
Whoa.
Their qualities are that they are very strong. They have intense stamina. They're very intense and they have large personalities. They're very aggressive.
Oh, so me.
Instincts, honorable warrior class sort of thing. I've never heard this before, but going to this terrible website, beneath the tough skin, they have hearts of gold when they activate this from within. I don't know if that's meant to be taken literally.
Activate what?
I don't know.
Time to listen, bitch. I'm finna activate my golden heart. Huh? Fucking starts grinching out.
And their whole goal is to dominate the human race. And you would think that like a warrior cast of aliens would try to do it by like murdering us because they're 12 feet tall and they're fucking dragons.
No, they're gonna murder us with their hearts of gold.
But no, they disguise themselves as politicians and people that other people generally don't like, so they accuse them of being not human.
Well, then wouldn't the conservative politicians be the ones because they're more aggressive?
Oh.
Nixon's a reptile, confirmed.
Nixon's a reptile. There are people who would wholeheartedly believe that, and they're just my favorite because they're like meat-headed, but they also apparently are clever. And I just like the idea that there's a race of aliens that can pop in at any time from underneath the earth or from a different dimension that wants to eat us but hasn't yet for bizarre unknown reasons. They're the least thought out, I think.
They're the perfect top.
Huh? Explain.
No, just ignore it.
Let's move on to the Andromedians. Andromedans?
That just looks like an Asian.
Yeah, it does look like an Asian, and that's where it comes from. It's a blue Asian. Because Andromedans there are lots of ones that are like...
Hold up. To save time, from now on, let's call them Blasians.
Blasians?
Blasians.
So the Blasians are blue. There are galactic neighbors. They also exist from 3D up to 12D. There are different ones. I know that there's one that's supposed to have wings.
Yeah.
Which sounds a lot like angels. So
yeah, like my dad.
They're bald and they have eyes like ours. They have facial features like ours. Basically,
they're just us.
It's just an Asian. That's all. It's all it is. It's a blue A because some redneck looked at an Asian at a Kenjo and was like, "What the fuck is that? Is that human?"
Fucking white people.
And they just came back from a convention, so he was blue. That we don't know a whole lot about them. They're like the least known, even though they're the closest. And yeah, they don't have a lot of involvement, but they do. They're like, I think they're not the masterminds, but they're like conniving, but also good.
Check out my Sonic OC.
What's his name?
That just sounds like a fucking OC. You go on Tumblr and it's like, yeah, here's my original character. It's everything and nothing at the same fucking time. Like this all sounds like, tier 1 creativity. There's no thought put into it. It's just, hey, this thing does everything and nothing at the same time.
And yet there are millions of people who do dig into this sort of thing. I don't
Yeah,
get it
they're
myself.
fucking okay, I'm sorry, but hey, listeners, I'm sorry, but if you believe in like ghosts, demons, angels, monsters, if you believe in Bigfoot, if you believe in, like aliens, you're fucking stupid. I'm like the biggest skeptic on the earth.
Yes,
I don't know if you've noticed.
I've noticed, I think.
And it aggravates me that humans are so fucking dumb. We are not in the Dark Ages anymore. We do not have to hang little girls for being witches anymore. But we still live in the fucking world, man. Africa's horrible about that still. Like, we were in the fucking, we were in the Christian calendar year 2018, and there are still kids in Africa getting kicked into the street and beat up and burnt because these fucking morons are like, oh, they're doing witchcraft. What? They're fucking 8. We're not doing much better either.
No, we're not doing
Our
much.
entire government believes in fucking angels.
They also believe in bird people and cat people.
Is that next?
Yeah, bird people and cat people.
Oh, hell yeah. Felines. That's my fetish.
Yeah, that's what they're called. They're called avians and felines. And just think of it like anime cat girl and Chozo from fucking Metroid Prime. We won't go into much of those because they are the least.
It's just Khajiit. It's just fucking Skyrim characters.
There's also Mantis, but we'll skip that one as well. These are one of the big ones. The Pleiadians.
That's just a human with pink hair.
Well, this is an awfully terrible picture.
That's just a loser that, like, her dad made her mad once.
I have never... This is not representative of what the Pleiadians look like. I don't know why it's on here. The Pleiadians are, like... They're pretty and they're humanoid, but they don't look like fucking Beth right here. They exist all the way from 3D to 9D.
Okay,
they look like pretty Earth people, but, like, weird. I think some
so
of them
exactly
say
like
blue.
the fucking Indigo Children.
Yes, the Indigo Children, indeed. Something about their evolution, I don't care. Basically, the Pleiadians are the exact opposite of the Draconians, and they're locked in like mortal combat, but not actual like combat fighting. It's like they're just trying to not have us be eaten, which sounds like it's easy to do, but instead of actually going out and doing it like they would do in a movie, or if it was like just normal human thought. Instead, they're just trying to make us realize that we need to like not defend it, which doesn't do anything.
I'm an alien, and I'm trying to save the human race from dying by letting them know that aliens are real. What's the best way to go? Should I go down there and like show myself? No, that'd be too easy. Let's no. They're not. I hate this stuff.
Well, what people say is that they do come down and they show themselves, but people like you and me just laugh them off. That's their defense.
Because if they're an alien, they would go to like simultaneously. All right, I'm an alien now, and I'm like, all right, time to let Homo sapiens know I exist. I'm gonna send one mothership to each world power at the same time and get a loudspeaker going. Does that ever happen? No, it's like, oh, I'm gonna send one scout ship, and then it's gonna like crash in Roswell, and then my scout's gonna go live with a guy in Virginia, and it's gonna be a show called American Dad.
I'm gonna go visit fucking Johnny Bugatti over in fucking Tuscaloosa.
Who's the best person on this planet to contact with all of my high-tech technology, all of my 9D knowledge? I have so many Ds.
Crazy Beth?
I'm in so many. I should contact.
She lives in the deep south.
Let's go for Alabama. Obviously the smartest province in there goes all of our Alabama listeners. Fucking Alabama, the smartest province in all of the the Earth, Terra. Yeah, you're a good choice. Hey, tell the world about me. Bye. I hate aliens.
How do I make them believe you?
I hate this stuff. Obviously, I get so worked up over this bullshit that people actually believe. Because it hurts my brain. It brings me pain. And that's why I act so violently against it.
Well, you know what would help you relieve that pain?
What?
If you opened up your third eye, which is what the Pleiadians also want us to do. They want us to unlock our spiritual energy to ascend to the next plane of evolution. Essentially, they want us to also collect more D
primary lotus. I'm gonna sit here. I'll open up my chakra.
I don't know what the astral traps is.
I'm a Sagittarius, and that's why I'm a bitch. I can't change it. It's just who I am.
This list is bad because they ran out. I know that there's more than this. But like the Nordics.
Yeah, we didn't even get into the racist stuff that I know exists.
Yeah, like the Nordics, which are the ones that apparently contacted Nazi Germany.
Bubbies.
And is what basically started the human race. So with the Nordics, I don't know where they come from or how many D's they have, but I do know that they supposedly came to Earth and like created us in their image for some reason, even though they are like extremely hands off and would never do such a thing. They contacted the Nazis. In fact, they contacted specifically Hitler apparently, and was like, gave him a message of like, you must be, not that you must be the dominant race, but the like, you must progress the human race to the level that we are at. And Hitler basically apparently took that and ran with it in a very bad direction, of course.
Pretty sure he actually was just, you know, a normal dude and then wanted to conquer the world just like, you know, any other human person.
He was not normal.
Pretty sure he never actually thought he saw aliens.
He didn't think he saw aliens, but he thought that he could achieve ultimate spiritual power by attaining the Ark of the Covenant and the Spear of Destiny. That's real.
Well, yeah. Well, that's just because when you're gonna take over the world, you use every resource available. I mean, he did science. He did. Look at me defending Hitler. Great. Fucking yeah, I'm a great person over here.
We won't kill him, and we're defending his actions.
Episode 1, Russell, I'm not killing Hitler. He's just a baby. Episode 4, hey, listen, Hitler thought it through, okay? No, I mean, he's a significant historical figure that should be studied in a, you know, from a gray perspective. Nothing's black and white.
No, we need to forget about him. He never happened.
But no, so like, you know, when you're trying to take over the world, of course you're going to utilize every resource available. He didn't like put all of his fucking stacks in occultism. He didn't put all of his fucking stacks in science. He put his stacks everywhere. Fucking everywhere.
Oh yeah.
The Nazis used everything possible.
And in a lot of ways, the sort of spiritual occult stuff helped them win the war.
Yeah,
not win the war, but it helped them be a force of extreme dominance.
Because that's the weird thing about, you know, and we already know the answer to that. That's the weird thing about just being a human is that there's something we haven't quite figured out yet about, you know, the mind and how we can like, you know, like people vibe off each other. And, you know, and that's why cults and religions exist. You know, when you're sitting at home alone with like, you know, with like a friend and you two are talking one-on-one about how stupid Christianity sounds, you know, you realize, oh, that sounds really dumb. But when when everyone's facing the same direction, everyone's dressed nice, everyone smells nice, and everyone's in a big room that, you know, that echoes and you do this every Sunday, you know, it legitimizes it.
And then if that doesn't suit your fancy, there's the other guys over there who don't smell nice, who are really scary and do spooky shit. But you're attracted to the spooky shit. It makes you hard as a rock. So you want to get in on that action. And then you realize that it's a sex cult. And you're like, yeah, sex cult.
Twister sex cult.
Twister sex cult. And then next thing you know, you're in the middle of Guam and it's hot outside and you're shoveling a field. And you're like, I used to be a banker. What the fuck happened to me?
I mean, yeah, that's just the weird nature about humans, because humans are like apes. You know, we like community, and you know, and if you're the odd one out, then you're the odd one out. You know, it doesn't matter. So I mean, like yeah, we already understand that. So of course, you know, that's what the Crusades were. Almost every, I mean, I would even argue that's what the United States military has going on too. A large majority of the United States military is just passively Christian.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you know, you have, like, when you all believe in a higher power that gives you a sense of unity, it's no different from how ancient Romans, you know, were like, brotherhood, you know, just like any sort of metaphysical concept can strengthen, your unity. And when you have strong unity, you have strong tactics. When you have strong unity, you have confidence, and that all leads to dominance. And so when you're the fucking Germans and you've been getting pissed on and shat on.
If you're the Germans and supposedly an alien came down to you and was like, you need to further the human race by being more like us, and he's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, extremely beautiful man who can fucking fly, and he can like change his fucking appearance at will, it gives you some confidence, doesn't it? And then, like we've said before, you just sort of and your way into murdering 6 million Jews.
Basically, yeah, because humans are fucking stupid. Put my conscious in a machine, please. I'm ready to be a robot.
And say goodbye to all these flesh beings.
I'm ready. I can just simulate the taste of chicken quesadillas.
The taste of big gay?
Yes.
Bubbies.
No, dude, I could totally see that happening.
I want some organic gay. We need to look up that right
organic
now.
Gay.
So, and gay is short for Gatorade.
Yeah, I was like, I just realized that we never explained what our inside joke about. Okay, no, so I had a giant thing of Gatorade, and I took a picture of it and sent it to my friend, and I said, check out my big gay. And then we've just been continuing because we're bad people.
Organic Gatorade. I haven't been able to.
How is it organic? Like Gatorade already has very little in it.
Yeah. I don't know
that Gatorade, the exclusive flavor of Gatorade I drink, Glacier Cherry, has like nothing in it.
Maybe I should just look at Gatorade.com and actually click the ad for once. Let's see. I just see a bunch of big gay. Oh, here we go.
Organic gay.
New organic thirst quencher. At Gatorade, we thrive on innovation because every athlete is unique. Organic features just 7 ingredients: water, organic cane sugar, citric acid, organic flavors, sea salt, sodium citrate, and potassium chloride.
Do you have any Gatorade?
So, in organic cane sugar, so just sugar, the same as before, because it's not different if it's organic. It's just the way that it's made. Citric acid, which is you use it in everything. Water, nice organic water. Organic natural flavor is the broadest possible term.
Okay, that's what fucking kills me is like you look at something and it's like made with natural flavors and other natural flavors. Okay.
It's like there's supposed to be an ingredient list on the back of this thing for a reason, and this isn't telling me anything. I wish you could tell me what it was. Like you could just say, condensed apple juice and fucking whatever else you put in there, and I would be like, well, fine. But they're not going to do that because I think there's something sketchy in this organic flavors bullshit that they're trying to sell us.
It's because our government doesn't give a shit about food.
It doesn't give a shit about our health.
It's literally just like, oh, hey, Oreos have like, a teaspoon of fucking like car fluid to keep them,
to keep your engine going
to keep it fresh for, eternity. So it never decomposes.
Ever.
And then, the FDA is like, well, I mean, technically it's not going to kill you. And then they're like, great, that's all we needed. And then they just slap on the back. They're like,
FDA approved.
They're like, other made with natural flavors. And it's like, yeah, I guess arsenic. Fucking.
Arsenic.
I'm going to kick your ass.
Oh, look, I can see like the nutrition facts on the back of this thing. Water, it's just the same thing. What the fuck? Why is there so much fucking salt in this?
Like Jimmy Neutron. Well, that's what Gatorade is.
230 milligrams.
Because you're not supposed to drink. Gatorade isn't like a recreational, I'm going to drink this. It's supposed to be to like, because when you're working out, you're sweating. And when you're sweating, that means you're losing salt.
A 12-pack is $20.
That's a lot. Well.
Is it?
12. I'm not doing the math on that.
I think it's about gas station prices. I think it's a little higher than regular.
Honestly, if I may, Ian, I think the rest of this podcast is going to get eaten up by our fan question.
Oh, Bubbies segment.
Bubby segment.
Fan question.
Bubby sequence. Bubby All right, Eric. my boy Eric sent me a message. If I may contribute a suggestion for a topic, I would like to hear you two discuss the quality of older anime versus anime of today. So in other words, Eric is asking us to do what we've already done with cartoons.
We'll just do it with anime.
Do it with anime now. Brilliant. I'm just kidding, Eric. Thanks for messaging us. You give us legitimacy. More specifically, the design of plot, character development, world, physics, and ways.
Physics?
Who
gives a shit about physics?
Well, the pretty sure the physics of anime has always been the same, as in there are fucking none, apparently, because you can just teleport. Everyone can just teleport everywhere.
So let's just not even get into that one.
And ways of story progression. Well, see, here's the thing. I don't even know if we're the best people to ask, because yes, I love anime, but that's been a recent endeavor.
Well, maybe we are the right people to ask, because if you ask someone who loves anime to talk about anime, they're going to give you a bunch of hullabaloo about how great it is and la 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 la. And I don't think that the people who watch anime necessarily have a knack for analysis.
Yeah, I feel like
critical thinking.
I feel like the people that get like,
or not critical thinking, but critical analysis of an artistic work.
Because like, you know, I do love anime, but I'm not running around, you know, yelling gum gum. And like, you know, I'm not that kid in that comment that I saw in Funimation where he was like, this fight was so epic, I ripped my shirt and screamed until my mom told me to stop. And it's like, I doubt, that probably actually happened. Like, you know, there's people like that, and there's people that just consume all anime. You know, and we
enjoy it.
Again, we're on the same fucking topics as always. We're on the same fucking topics as always.
We're always bitching about other people.
But no, you know, there are...
Let me fix this real fast. Hold on, everybody. I'm fixing the microphone. La 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 la.
Shit, I punched my knee too hard. Ow.
We'll take you to the hospital before we go play poker.
Hell yeah.
Big.
Check out my big gay
anime. I have something to say about something right off the bat after I fix this thing real quick.
Well, then fucking hurry up and do it before I interrupt you.
It has to do...
Well, don't do it. Don't start now. You're fixing the mic.
With...
You should add like an intermission song during this and just keep it in. Well, no, like, you don't sing it. Fucking baka.
There we go. Something that I'd like to get off right off the bat is flow, story flow.
It sucks.
And there's one thing. I think it has to do with the Japanese themselves and the way that they produce and consume their media, because something that is unique to almost all, not unique, because American media does do this to some extent. But every anime has a song to accompany the front end and the back end of every show.
Yeah.
Every show I could possibly think of. Starting from the dawn of fucking time. It is something that has never stopped. I was watching some old Naruto the other day, and there was a really emotionally charged, tense moment at the very end of the episode. And instead of like... it sort of just like credits roll and, you know, it's time to move on to the next one. It's like the episode ends and then it fades away and then all of a sudden I'm introduced to... After I've just seen like a character brutally die and then he's going to get malicious revenge against this guy. They're just like staring at each other with intense music. And the music's like dun 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 dun. And then just a bunch of anime music, and then I'm like, fuck, next episode, and then I'm introduced to it's all a bunch of ridiculous song and dance that accompanies all of it, and it can work in some cases, but I find that most of the time that the anime intros and outros are actually a detriment to a flow between episodes, which is indicative of the lack of story flow in a lot of anime. Could you give us an example that isn't like a standard really popular anime like Naruto or Bleach that like the flow is just all fucky, needlessly long?
Well, the reason I know why it's needlessly long, I actually have the answer to that. But I want to stay on the thing. I want to give my perspective of what you just said, because you haven't got to it yet. But there's a part in Naruto Shippuden. Spoilers. There's a part in Naruto Shippuden where all of the 10-tailed the tailed beasts are, announced, I guess. Like they're all finally debuting at the same time in the same location. Obito literally has the universe in the palm of his hand. At any minute he could squish it. He has killed a dozen people already. Like, Naruto is literally fighting for his life. Obito is, being traumatized, and he's trying to commit suicide for the whole world, basically. Right? He's got all the 10 beasts. He's got all 10 beasts popping out. These are like world destroyers. The reasons mountains and oceans exist is because these 10 beasts, fucking farted, and they broke wind, and then Earth happened. Like, the most powerful things in the universe.
The winds of creation.
Everyone is in the same location. Next episode, Chibi Naruto, Chibi 10-tailed beast, and Naruto's just going like, and he's like hitting a drum, and the subtitles are like, let's sing a song about the 10-tailed beast. And then it's literally like a 10-minute long song with him explaining all 10 beasts and all 10 users of the 10 beasts. And he's like, beast number 7 is Takashi 69, and his rider is, Lil Peep, and he's just like, hitting his drum, and it's like, all right, that's a weird.
This is lame.
That's a weird shift. So I understand what you mean, and I want to know why you think that, because, fun fact, we've both been to Japan. We frequent there, actually. You are Japanese.
I am a full quarter-blooded Japanese.
You are a full quarter-blooded Japanese, which means you go there to see family.
Yeah.
I just go there to get fucked up because half my friends live there and they let me squat at their places. Shout out to Neelan. And those are fun stories. I really want to talk about how I got fucked up in Japan.
We'll do a Japan episode.
Episode. But yeah, so, and I want to, and I kind of get what you're saying, but I want you to elaborate on how, like, what do you mean that it comes, like, how they produce their, media and how they consume their media.
Bubbies? Well, like a lot of things in Japanese culture, it's all steeped in tradition, right? So I'll talk about. See, I think I've seen older anime than you have seen.
Yes,
the oldest.
I will agree.
The oldest anime that I've ever seen was Captain Harlock, actually, which on Netflix there is a movie. A CG movie.
Oh yeah, I saw
which
that.
Wasn't bad. I liked it.
I didn't watch it.
It dragged a little bit, but overall it was really good. It didn't stay very sourceful to the source material because the whole concept of it was that and it was made in 1979, and so everything looks super, super wonky, and the style was like, it was very odd, but in that anime, I saw pretty much the exact same things happening. I saw, things that were dragged out a lot longer than they need to, contrived plot points, a lot of jit-knots. Jit-knot being an acronym for just in the nick of time. One of the things that anime is constantly plagued with, the jit-knot.
Ex Machina.
Especially in Naruto and in Bleach and in all the mainstream ones. A lot of it is not, a lot of the tension of a scene or a moment can be instantly wiped away because someone is always going to jump in just at the nick of time, right before someone gets brutally murdered, and everything will always end up fine. A character may die or two here or there, and that may be surprising, but 9 times out of 10, if you're in a bad situation, they're going to get out of it. And that's that comes from the Captain Harlock days. So let's take the one that people have seen the most, for instance, Naruto. The pacing in that is, it can, in the earlier episodes, it was pretty good, but as the series dragged on, there was a lot of, so many flashbacks.
Yeah, flashbacks. Fucking 9 episode long flashbacks in the worst possible places.
Holy shit.
Obito is literally about to fucking, he's literally about to do the, Boku no everyone die jutsu. And then all of a sudden, hey, let's talk about, all right, I know that the world's about to explode, but let's watch Baby Hinata for like 7 episodes. let's spend 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20. Let's spend 210 minutes watching Hinata be a child. What the fuck?
This would be this is sort of an issue that's specific kind of to Naruto, because there are other shows that like to do flashbacks, but they do them in a less obnoxious way. It's just an example, though, of some of the issues that anime has as a whole. So, and this would be totally fine if it was like it is nowadays, where a show can be accessed and binge watched in any order that you want. You can skip around with the playhead. But in Japan, they still air this stuff on TV, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that just pops up on the internet like it does over here. You know, it's always going to show first on TV in Japan. And I can only pity the Japanese viewers who they're in the week has happened. It's Wednesday at like 8 p.m. and it's time for Naruto. You've got your body pillow and you've got your fleshlight ready, and you're gonna watch fucking the biggest fight of the life. And then this fight is like interspersed with loads and loads of really long and extremely obvious flashbacks. And at the end of the episode, something really crazy is about to happen, and then you wait another week, and the next thing you know, you're getting a fucking filler episode where they're all at the beach jerking each other off.
Yeah.
And then like 10, like maybe like 5 episodes later, so 5 weeks later, the story continues. If that was me, I would just like, fuck it, you've lost me. You haven't earned this. Your flow is shit. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm fed up with it. And that's most anime for me. It's got the flow of it is mostly bad. There's shows like Parasite, The Maxim, and Berserk had a really good flow.
God,
didn't it?
Berserk.
A really good
Good animes with amazing flow.
Made in Abyss was
Gurren Lagann.
fucking great.
Gurren Lagann, Fullmetal Alchemist, Cowboy Bebop.
It has a noir, very noir, extremely noir.
I'll put a pin in Cowboy Bebop, actually. But like Gurren Lagann was amazing. That was my first anime experience ever, was Gurren Lagann.
And you rewatched it not too long ago.
I did rewatch it not too long ago, and I still cried because it's a really beautiful way to like explore how human nature is, just to like, because as you watch the show, you grow along with the characters. It just simulates what it is to be human, and the flow is perfect. There's no bullshit flashbacks.
Would you like it as much if in the middle of them going from like figuring out how to go into the Earth and then going up to space, there was like 20 episodes where they fucking I don't know, have to fight Midorama, the pancake wizard?
I would not,
because like it's the filler stuff is what really kills me. I remember when we call him Bubble Faggot came up in Naruto. That was like and apparently he's not a filler, but it certainly felt like a filler.
No, he's one of remember the thing I was talking about? He's like hitting the drums, and he's like, oh, little Zan is the he's the owner of Tentacion, the seven-tailed beast or whatever. Bubble Faggot's one of the owners. He owns like the one tail, I think. No, that's Gaara. The bubble guy, he owns one of them.
Whatever. It's very strange, but like I said, Made in Abyss has a beautiful flow. Going around to the Cowboy Bebop thing, there's another anime that was exceptionally good. It was called Girls' Last Tour. Did you watch this one?
No, it's got girls in the title. I probably wouldn't go near it.
It's fantastic.
Oh.
So it's the whole premise is that there's only 2 girls left on Earth after nuclear war.
Okay, I'm already invested.
Nuclear winter has hit. Earth like progressed to a point where there were like 3 layers of civilization built on top of each other. It all sort of looks very World War II, but it's also extraordinarily advanced technology.
So it's diesel punk.
I guess it's diesel punk. It's the world, and all of this is told without them saying anything. Most of the show is them just meandering around, talking about the things that they see and the things they wish they could do. Wow, look at that. What is that? And like they go toward like there's like a hot water runoff because there's like a nuclear plant that didn't rupture, but it hasn't stopped working, so it's just like melting all the ice around it. And they're like, what is this? It's hot water. And so they've never seen hot water before. So they just fuck around in the hot water, and there's like a fish in there, and they try and catch it. But the things that they are looking at and the things that you are looking at are telling an incredible story of human civilization, the way that we destroy each other and build ourselves up. And the last shred of us is like condensed into these two little girls in a tank just trying to find, the next thing of fuel or the next bite of food. It's brilliant, I would say that. And it has a similar pace sort of to Cowboy Bebop, where it's fairly slow, methodical, but not in like a dragging sort of way.
Well, that's everyone's, whether they know it or not. That's this is your opinion, whether you know it or not. Everyone's favorite method of storytelling is passive. Mm-hmm. That's why Dark Souls was so good. You spend 2 hours in Dark Souls and you're just like, oh, whatever. I'm just a guy in a castle killing things, whatever. You spend 9 hours in Dark Souls, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Why are all the steps big? Why
is everything made out of marble?
Why is it? Wait a minute.
What the fuck is that giant fucking?
And then here we are.
Is that a dragon?
Here we are with shout out to Vati Vidya. Here we are. Fucking Dark Souls came out like fucking long time ago, but there are still YouTube videos with people being like, whoa, like, isn't it, like there's still people like just now figuring out like the story, and that's what makes, that's like the best way of storytelling, is when it's, passively, when you like put the pieces together subconsciously. And that's kind of what Gurren Lagann did. It never outright said, hey, this is the human progression. It was just kind of like, you just kind of realize that after you watch it, oh, episode 1, I was underground, didn't know anything. Last episode, now we're like fighting God in the, in like the inner dimensions. And, and I feel like I've gone through the entire human experience. We're not really answering his question, though. His question is, then and now. And I honestly think the best way to talk about that would be Naruto and Boruto. And for the non-anime people that are for some reason still listening, God bless you. Boruto is the sequel to Naruto, and it's about his kid, Boruto, Bean Burrito, and his friends Salad and really pale Snake Kid. And so I had really mixed feelings about Boruto, and you haven't seen any of it, but I've been telling you about stuff at work.
It sounds inferior.
It is inferior. It is inferior.
At least in story.
It is inferior to Naruto, and I keep having ups and downs with it, because going into Boruto, I actually got tricked. What they were trying to do worked on me, and maybe I'm overthinking it, and maybe they accidentally pulled this off. But this is how I feel about Boruto. You watch Boruto, you sit through it. Once you get into it, you're gonna go, wow, this is fucking lame. You're as someone who watched Naruto, you're gonna be sitting there going, this is lame. These kids have it so easy. It's like they're not even ninja. What the fuck? None of this is like
they're
serious.
Cheating.
Yeah, they're cheating. Well, Naruto cheated, but it's like all of this is so like pansy stuff. Like, this is so dumb. And I even saw a meme once where it was like Boruto episode 50, and it's just all of them in like animal costumes because they're having like a fun day at school. And then it was like Naruto episode 50, and it's like Sasuke all bloody and
he's
Naruto
like
all
turning
bloody.
into a monster.
And when I saw that, I went, haha, yeah, Boruto sucks. And we were all jerking each other off. I was just like, then I realized, fuck me, I fell for it, just like everybody else. What Boruto is doing, how we Naruto fans feel about Boruto, is how real life old people feel about the younger generation. Mm-hmm. So, the world of Naruto, and the world of Boruto, is now, there's TVs everywhere. Everyone's got a cell phone. There's literally, I never thought I would ever hear this. There's a line in Boruto where Naruto says, Sasuke hasn't messaged me because he's nowhere. He can't charge his devices, out where he is. And so I never thought I would hear that in Naruto. And, and you see Naruto, a living god. You see Sasuke, a living god. You see all of the, ninja presidents, and they're all like, they're having like a peace summit all the time now. And they're exchanging ideas and whatnot. And everything, everything seems so simple and like easy. And the kids are all like, every kid is spoiled. Every kid's a brat. Literally everyone but Shikadai, which is Shikamaru's kid, is a cunt. And and I'm sitting there as an adult who's watched Naruto going, wow, I cannot believe these kids, like, I hate the show because these kids have it so easy. These kids have no idea And then I went, oh my God, that's how old people feel 24/7.
That's how my mother felt when I was watching Toonami, looking at Naruto shout, believe it!
You know, and it's like, and it's like, now I get it, you know, and I get, you know, I don't know, maybe it shouldn't be clear. I kind of liked having, you know, getting slapped in the face for once, because that rarely happens, you know, humble brag or whatever. But like, you know, it's rare that I'll watch a story or listen to a story and then be surprised. And so that really hit me hard, was like, oh my God, I am supposed to feel this way. And if you're to Generation Z, which is who the show's for, if you're Generation Z watching this, you have no reference. You know, if you're my younger sister watching Boruto, you know, she didn't watch Naruto, she didn't watch Shippuden, she did not see with her own eyes, she did not see Madara slaughter an entire army by himself. She did not see like the pain and bloodshed and like how horrible it used to be. So, you know, and so they're a lot like the kid characters. You know, they just think this is how it's always been. You know, they're like, oh, I love this show because it's so chipper, it's so bright, it's so happy. Everyone's gonna be a ninja. Oh my God, everyone's gonna get cute headbands. You know, and then
Except, wait, what the fuck is that alien thing?
yeah, and then the veterans, you know, that have seen Naruto and then by proxy are older, get mad at Boruto because, you know, we're sitting here like, oh my God, this like nothing's happening. There's no conflict. And then, you know, and it's because we're used to like, you know, the obvious conflict, but the conflict here is between the generations, which is also a giant, you know, analogy for real life, because Naruto is constantly at odds with his kid. His kid is like, why can't you be my dad? You know, like blah, blah, blah. And his kid, you know, and he's like goofing off and he's cheating. He's using technology to like bypass, you know, the true way to do ninjutsu.
At least Naruto had to actually read a scroll in order to do his typical shadow clone thing.
There's a whole plot device called the Omnitrix. Just kidding, no. called the Ninja
I've
Tool.
seen it now. It looks like the Omnitrix.
Yeah, literally, it's just like the Omnitrix. But like, and that, you know, and all of it is just brilliant. Honestly, it's brilliant because that's exactly what real life is. You know, these adults spent their whole life going to like, you know, like fighting and learning and reading and going places to learn things. And then all of a sudden, you know, any kid can just like, you know, hit a few buttons on their phone and know anything in the world. And that's aggravating because that's not what they, you know, and it seems cheap and easy because that's not how they did it. And so, you know, there's a whole plot device in Boruto where he gets the scientific ninja tool and now he can just do any jutsu. He doesn't have to put in any work. Instead of, you know, throwing like 30, you know, gang signs with two hands in rapid succession, he can pop off one, and then, you know, any like high level jutsu is just at his disposal. And so everyone thinks he's, you know, and then of course he uses that to cheat, and that's like the conflict. But like, you know, Boruto is exploring a different, you know, not anymore because the aliens came back. Spoiler, the aliens came back.
They came back.
And now I'm kind of, you know, currently I'm kind of down on Boruto again because the last episode had no Boruto. It was just Sasuke and Naruto showing off again. You know, and so, you know, good sequels dive off, bad sequels wallow in the original thing. And so, you know, but I think Boruto and Naruto is the best way to go about it because like Naruto was very graphic, and like, you know, old Naruto was a lot about war. It was about sadness and enemies and stuff. And honestly, I feel like, you know, people may disagree, but Generation Z is a much more positive and like chipper and intelligent.
They joke about their crippling depression a lot, but they don't.
But they're just feeding off of us. You know, the millennials are an in-between generation. I don't know if this is a proven theory or not, but I believe in the in-between generation. So Generation X, which was our parents, you know, they lived relatively simple lives. Not as bad as the boomers, but still pretty shitty. And then millennials pop up, and so, you know, here I am living the later half of my life with technology, with, you know, education, with information, with skills. But my entire, you know, childhood and early life up until like 18, so my entire youth was outside, no internet, no communication, no world.
We can still remember the days of VHS and landlines.
Like, Generation Z is born into a world where they are instantly and immediately exposed to different cultures, different words, reality. You know, like it's really hard to shelter Generation Z kids. My little sister is 13 and is already like, you know, accepted that the world is shit. That's not something you do until you're an adult. You know, I didn't realize the world was shit until I was like, you know, 20. But she, you know, she as a 13-year-old has already gone, okay, yeah, we're fucked. Time to live it up, you know, and that's just an inevitable truth that everyone reaches. And you know, in older generations, it took them longer to get there because they had less exposure to the world we live in. But Generation Z is instantly born into a world that's inherently more peaceful. You know, depending on where you're born, obviously. But like, you know, it's inherently more peaceful. You are immediately at a greater advantage than everybody else because you're exposed to information instantly. You know, and so
you can communicate with your friends at any point, at any time.
And so millennials, like I didn't have a cell phone till I was like 16. I didn't have anything till I was 16. And so my first 16 years, I lived no different than a fucking, you know, baby boomer or a Generation X. I was outside all the time. I scraped my knee on rocks. I saw, you know, my mom loves the story. She tells me the story of like the first time I like realized that there were like different, you know, ethnicities. This is a fun story. I was at a playground with my mom, and I think I was like 6 or something. I can't remember what age I was. I'll have to ask her. But she said that I like sat on a swing and was just swinging. It was one of those tire swings where you could sit in it and like face each other. And a little black girl like sat in the swing with me, and we're just swinging for like 30 minutes, no issue. And then all of a sudden she swears that I looked at her and I went, "You're black and I'm white, but that's okay." And then we just kept swinging. And then we just kept swinging. Like her parents kind of like gave my mom a look, and my mom was like, "Is he wrong? I don't know. Is he wrong? I'm sorry. I don't like. Is he wrong?" And they're like, "No." And then we just swing, you know. And so like, you know, so it took me like a decent amount of time to like, you know, go, oh, there's other people. Oh, you know, things are different. But Generation Z, they're instantly born, and all, you know, by like age like 5, they're following like, you know, 30 people on Instagram from different countries. And so I feel like that's kind of how Boruto is, because Boruto is a very like, I don't want to say progressive, but you can just, if you watch Boruto,
it's indicative. You
can just tell that Boruto is it's a much more positive. It's much more happy. It's much more like inclusive. You know, like they still, you know, like Choji's daughter is still called fat, you know, like, but like, you know, she's still called Chubs and whatnot. But like, you know, it's nowhere near like the level of, you know,
an insensitivity that they showed her father.
And like, you know, and like, you know, and in Naruto, there's like, you know, there's like homophobic jokes and whatnot, you know, classic anime. But like in Boruto, that is yet to happen, and it probably will never happen. The closest thing was, you know, Sarada asking Sasuke, "Who was your first kiss? Was it mom?" And then he goes, "No, it was Naruto." And everybody's like, "Ugh," but that's not because it's a guy.
But it wasn't like,
it's not, you know.
You kissed a boy. It was, you kissed the leader of the world.
Yeah, basically.
Bubbies.
I want to, well, yeah,
No.
we're at about an hour, but I want you to give me your thoughts about Cowboy Bebop that you never finished.
And what was that?
You said that you would get back to it about the pacing of it and everything, because Cowboy Bebop it's inspired by classic noir, and it takes a lot of tropes from it, but the influence is really, really there in the storytelling.
Here's the thing. Cowboy Bebop how do I say this? Cowboy Bebop can be watched in any order.
That's cool.
Cowboy Bebop.
And you're right.
Cowboy Bebop can be watched in any order. I would watch episode 1 first, and I would watch episode last. But honestly, like, cause Cowboy Bebop is more of a character piece than like some crazy overarching plot. Cause a lot of anime is just like, you know, crazy overarching plot. Fullmetal Alchemist is, you know, spoilers. Fullmetal Alchemist is like, oh, we're slowly realizing that the government is evil, you know, and we're like slowly getting, like, the scale always increases in anime, like it always does. You know, the first episode of Boruto is literally like showing that the Leaf Village is destroyed again, and grown up Boruto is like about to fight somebody, and that's like, and it's like, okay, cool, thanks for whatever. But, you know, and like the scale is always like a huge thing. But in Cowboy Bebop is a lot like, and I'm going to get shot for saying this, but Cowboy Bebop is a lot like Family Guy. It's a lot like Family Guy, where you can just kind of like there are B plots, that are happening, but you don't really need to watch it in any order. You know, you watch Family Guy and you just know that Brian and Quagmire hate each other, and so when they interact, it's just kind of, you know, yeah, I know that's a thing. You know, it doesn't matter what episode you're on, you just like, you know, it's just been established. You know, and then in Cowboy Bebop, it's the same thing, you know, and each episode also focuses on one character usually. So, you know, like there's an entire episode that just is nothing about Faye. There's an entire episode that's nothing about Jet. There's an entire episode that's nothing about Ed. There's an entire episode that's nothing about Spike. You can watch those in any order. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you watch Spike first.
There's something really artistically challenging about that. I don't think that I could pull that off. I don't.
Well, each episode is a contained story. And like I just said, like in Family Guy, it slowly builds up to the last episodes, which is where they kind of start making the B plots make sense.
Having everything sort of be in like the RAM memory of your brain and then have it pay off at the very end after, you know, X number of episodes of just things are happening. I've never met anyone who was really confused by Cowboy Bebop or didn't really like it. They were just sort of like, this is weird. And then I never watched the last episode, and I need to, because that's like the keystone to the whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So let's end this with our overall thoughts of the state of anime and all of it.
Because we didn't even get into My Hero Academia, which is also, it's really good, but it's very similar to Boruto, as in, it's more about appeal. Everything's this day and age, and of course, I think it's thanks to Disney. You know, everyone knows I hate Disney, but like I'm not even like being facetious. Like facetious. Disney has kind of set a standard for like what people want, and people don't really want story. They just want appeal. You know, people think they're getting a story, but they're not. They're just getting things that they like over and over again. So like My Hero Academia is a great anime, but it's going in circles. The episode that I'm currently on is.
You said that they've gone through like another like learning training art. They've gone through the same thing like they're
going in a circle, and this is the third time they've made a lap. But I keep watching the show because the characters are appealing, you know, and it's like, and that's just kind of where we are, like, you know, and again, Joey, you know, add another $1 to the swear jar for me, you know, but Star Wars is doing the same thing now. Mm-hmm. Every Star Wars that comes out is just
they're making their rounds with the previous
and it's
original trilogy.
It's because we've entered this age, and I mean, is it fine? I don't know, but we've entered an age where story isn't what's important; it's how you feel watching it. That's why a lot of people don't like Black Mirror. Black Mirror has amazing stories, but they're depressing. And
yes, they're very intense.
They're depressing and intense, and so people go, "I don't want to watch this," and they shut it off, and then they turn on The Office, which is just nothing. The Office is
just a bunch of fuckwads.
The Office is just an hour of, you know, feel good, and that's what people want now. Is people want feel good,
and that's the reason why you and me don't like The Office very much, is because we don't like the only thing that it gives is characters, and we don't really like any of them. I guess I would say that the state of anime is very poor because the Japanese are not immune to oversaturating their industry. I would say that 9 out of 10 anime are absolute bullshit.
Okay, well, yeah, duh. Because the quantity is
it's definitely a medium where you have to find the diamond in the rough. Which is unfortunate.
My Hero Academia, I know you couldn't make it and you quit, and that's fine. But honestly, I mean, like it has its moments, and I'm going to continue to watch it.
I never started.
No, you said you did. You watched like 2 episodes of My Hero Academia, and you were like, "Oh, this is garbage." And then that's the one, that's Green Naruto. It's the one with it's the superhero one.
Oh yeah, I was watching that one at the boys' place, at my friend's place. Yeah, I immediately switched off my give a shit button when the main character's name is Midoriya, and that basically just means that his name is green.
Yeah.
Like that shit doesn't fly with me.
I mean, yeah, the guy that everyone says that looks.
That's like some strawberry shortcake level shit.
There's a character that everyone says is me because he's a dick and he's loud and he has like poofy blonde hair. His name is Kachan, which
basically means boom.
Well, no,
right?
that's his nickname, but his actual name is Bakugo, which is very similar to Explosion or something. Neelan told me that it's very close to like Explosion. And what's his power? Explosions!
Boom! Pow!
But yeah, we've complained long enough. Thanks for joining episode 4. Thanks, our loyal fans listening to us complain.
If you want a list of all the best anime, go fuck yourself.
I was like, please don't give us homework to do. As always, we love talking to you guys. We still want to get a third person to come on eventually. Have a trifecta going. But yeah, if you like the podcast, please help us out. We're doing this for fun, but we actually, if you like it and you think it's entertaining, then share it. Then like it. If
you think that your friends would hate us, show it to them anyway so they can get angry, and then you can do what we do, which is just talk about shit.
Yeah, and so we have no expectations, but if this goes somewhere, that'd be cool. But I'm not gonna shamelessly start self-promoting everywhere. I don't think that's probably how everyone gets famous, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, shameless self-promotion.
I have too much empty pride. But if you want to help us out, fucking show us off, put us on 4chan, whatever. Do something with our podcast, please. Also, unfortunately, we're gonna have to exclusively be YouTube. I know.
Yes, indeed.
I know that's the hardest thing to because if you're trying to drive, then you have to leave YouTube open unless you have god awful YouTube Red, which no one has. But the reason is because SoundCloud, has a 3-hour allowance, and each of our episodes are over an hour.
So it can only be 2 at once.
We can only have 2 at once.
And you need an RSS feed in order to get onto iTunes and Google Play and stuff. And if the entire podcast is only 2 episodes that are constantly switching back and forth from, then that's not really good.
Then it's not going to be up there.
And our logo didn't get approved by Google Play, so it's not even up there. I uploaded the whole thing, it went through all the rounds, and then it said that our image was bullshit, so I don't know what that's about.
Basically, we're still trying to figure it out, but as of right now...
And we don't want to put any money in it.
Yeah, and, we can't put money into it. Unless this becomes legit, we can't, pay... we're not gonna... We have other personal projects we're spending money on. We're not gonna dump money into Bubbies unless we actually have, a huge audience that, actively wants to listen.
But that doesn't mean that we don't care about our audience members. We want to hear your questions. We want you guys to come on the show.
We need more audience members. We've got 2 questions, and that's awesome. That's fucking great. So how about we get one more?
Yeah, let's just have it. Let's just have people ask us some questions. You can submit them to bubbiespodcast@gmail.com.
Love you.
Hate you.
Have a safe Friday.
Stay away from aliens. Oh God, there they are.
Ah, I'm a gray.
How fat are your kids?